Stop! Don't overlook the loose change in your pocket. This isn't just a single penny. It's a small piece of a massive, centuries-old story. This Queen Elizabeth II coin might seem ordinary, but its lineage traces back to a time of kings and a currency system that once ruled the world. You're holding a subtle link to the very foundation of modern finance, and some of these humble pieces hold surprisingly significant value to collectors. A little later, I'll share the estimated market price for coins in certain conditions. And remember, I've detailed a simple, effective way to potentially sell this coin right in the middle of this video. Don't go anywhere. You won't want to miss the hidden history and value. Welcome to Numis Explorer. The history of the British penny stretches back for well over a millennium, making it one of the most enduring and recognizable monetary units in the world. Its origins are firmly rooted in the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms of the 8th century, specifically following the introduction of the silver penny, a denomination modeled after the continental denier. King Offa of Mercia is often credited with its first widespread use around 785 AD, and for centuries, the penny was the backbone of the English economy, often being the only coin minted for a significant period. Initially, these silver pennies were relatively substantial in size and silver content, a far cry from the small, copper-plated steel coin we see today, and their design often bore the portrait of the reigning monarch on the obverse and a cross on the reverse to aid in cutting the coin into halves, halfpennies or quarters, farthings, for smaller change. The continuity of this denomination through various dynasties, from the Normans to the Tudors, is a testament to its fundamental utility and acceptance among the populace, weathering economic shifts, political upheaval, and changes in metallurgical composition over time. The transition from a hammered coin to a milled, machine-made coin in the 16th and 17th centuries marked a significant technological leap, improving consistency and preventing illegal clipping, an act that frequently debased the currency and plagued earlier royal treasuries for centuries. The shift in the penny's metallic composition is a critical part of its evolution, directly reflecting the economic realities and industrial capabilities of the age. For nearly 1,000 years, the coin was predominantly struck in silver, with its value inherently tied to the precious metal content. However, by the reign of George III in the late 18th century, the rising price of silver made it economically unfeasible to continue minting it as a silver coin, leading to a period of widespread coin shortage and the circulation of various unofficial tokens. The first true copper penny was introduced in 1797, famously known as the Cartwheel penny due to its large size and thick rim, marking a monumental change in the currency landscape and making it the largest copper coin ever issued by Britain. This bold move by the Royal Mint, necessitated by the need for readily available small change, established the precedent for a base metal penny, moving away from the ancient tradition of intrinsic precious metal value. Subsequent issues in the 19th and early 20th centuries were scaled down in size and were struck in bronze, an alloy of copper, tin, and zinc, which offered greater durability and a more manageable size for everyday transactions. This long process of downsizing and demetallizing the coin has led directly to the lighter, modern iteration that we are examining today, a practical tool of commerce rather than a store of intrinsic value. A major milestone in the modern history of the penny, and indeed all British currency, was the move to decimalization in 1971, an event often referred to as D-Day for the currency. Prior to this, the British monetary system operated on the ancient and famously complex system of pounds, shillings, and pence, pound SD, where 12 pennies made 1 shilling and 20 shillings made 1 pound, meaning there were 240 old pennies to the pound. This system, though historically significant, was increasingly seen as cumbersome and inefficient for international trade and domestic commerce in the modern world, especially when compared to the simpler decimal systems adopted by most other nations. The new decimal penny, worth \frac 100 of a pound, was introduced alongside a transitional halfpenny, and was initially the same size and composition as the old pre-decimal sixpence, though it was gradually reduced in size to the smaller version familiar today. This transition, while smooth, required a significant public education campaign and marked the end of a monetary system that had been in continuous use for over 1,000 years. The coin you hold, dated 2006, is a direct descendant of that 1971 changeover, existing within the fully established decimal system. To sell this coin, your best approach depends on its rarity and condition. For a common coin like the 2006 penny shown, Direct sale to a collector is unlikely to yield significant returns unless it is in an absolutely pristine, uncirculated state or possesses a clear, recognized minting error. The most accessible method for a typical circulated coin is to simply spend it as currency. However, if you believe your coin is a rare variant, an error coin, or is in an exceptionally high grade, you could consider listing it on online auction sites like eBay, ensuring you take high-quality, well-lit photographs of both sides and provide an honest description of its condition. For genuinely rare or high-value coins, the safest and most profitable route is to consult a reputable coin dealer or submit it to a recognized auction house, which can authenticate the coin and market it to serious collectors globally, often for a small commission. Always remember to research comparable sales before setting a price and never clean a coin, as this dramatically reduces its numismatic value. You might also find local coin collector clubs or conventions where you can get an in-person appraisal and connect with potential buyers who are specifically looking for coins of a certain year or type. The design of the reverse side of the 1 penny coin has also undergone several significant changes throughout its long history, each reflecting a specific era or royal command. The earliest pennies featured simple, often abstract, designs like a cross, which served a practical purpose for cutting the coin. Later iterations featured heraldic symbols, such as various forms of the royal shield or arms, before the iconic figure of Britannia was introduced in the late 17th century. Britannia, the personification of Britain, seated with a shield and trident, became the central image of the penny for over 300 years, an emblem of maritime power and national identity that adorned millions of coins until decimalization. The decimal penny introduced in 1971, however, replaced Britannia with a crowned portcullis with chains, a familiar heraldic badge of the Palace of Westminster and the British Parliament. This design, often called the badge of the portcullis, represented a shift towards a more symbolic, less figurative, national emblem on the currency, a design which remained constant until a major redesign of all circulating coins in 2008. The coin you are holding is a 2006 1 penny piece, placing it firmly within the fourth portrait era of Queen Elizabeth II, which was the final portrait before the major redesign. The obverse of this coin features the elegant portrait of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a design by Ian Rank-Broadley that was in use from 1998 to 2015. This particular portrait, which is slightly more mature and regal than previous effigies, is surrounded by the inscription Elizabeth II DG Reg FD, a Latin abbreviation for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The inclusion of Defender of the Faith is a title historically bestowed upon English monarchs by the Pope and has been retained by the sovereign since the 16th century, continuing a centuries-old tradition on the coinage. The portrait's direction, facing right, adheres to the tradition that each successive monarch faces the opposite direction of their predecessor, a convention that dates back to the reign of Charles II. This specific date, 2006, is generally a common date for this coin, meaning its value is primarily its face value unless it exhibits exceptional characteristics, such as being in a proof condition or having a specific minting error that collectors seek out. The concept of the penny has extended far beyond the confines of the British Isles, having played a key role in the monetary systems of numerous Commonwealth nations and former British colonies. As the British Empire expanded, so too did its currency, establishing the pound and the penny as standard units of exchange in vast territories across the globe, including Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and various parts of Africa and the Caribbean. While most of these nations have long since adopted their own distinct currencies, often maintaining the name penny or cent for their lowest denomination, the historical impact of the British penny on their financial past remains indelible. These colonial issues often mirrored the British designs closely, featuring the monarch's portrait on one side and a local or imperial symbol on the reverse, serving as a tangible link between the colony and the crown. Furthermore, the British penny's influence can be seen in the very language of finance, with phrases like a pretty penny or penny dreadful entering the global lexicon, demonstrating a cultural as well as economic impact that stretches far beyond the mere metal of the coin itself. The 2006 1 penny coin, being made of copper-plated steel, is a product of modern efficiency and cost-saving measures introduced in 1992. Previously, the coin was struck in bronze, but due to the rising cost of metals, The Royal Mint made the practical decision to switch to a steel core plated with copper, maintaining the traditional reddish appearance while drastically reducing the cost of production. This change, while necessary, caused a slight shift in the weight and magnetic properties of the coin, which can be a key identifier for coin collectors when comparing pre- and post-1992 coins. Despite its low face value, the penny is crucial for maintaining the efficiency of cash transactions, allowing for precise pricing and change-making, and represents the lowest denomination of the current British currency. The sheer volume of these coins produced annually is staggering, reflecting their essential role in daily life, where millions are struck each year at the Royal Mint in Llantrisant, Wales. The longevity and high volume of production of the penny make it a ubiquitous symbol of British commerce. The significance of the penny is often found not in its monetary value, but in its cultural and historical resonance. It is a coin deeply embedded in the public consciousness, featuring prominently in literature, folklore, and common phrases, often representing a small but essential sum of money. The penny slot machines, the penny farthing bicycle, and the tradition of giving a lucky penny are just a few examples of how this denomination has permeated the social fabric. For coin collectors or numismatists, the penny offers a rich and diverse area of study, with numerous varieties, minting errors, and key dates that hold significant interest and, occasionally, substantial value. Early hammered silver pennies, the large copper cartwheels, and specific error coins from the 20th century can command prices far exceeding their face value. The 2006 coin itself may not be rare today, but a future appreciation might occur if it survives in pristine condition or if unforeseen minting anomalies are discovered, demonstrating that even a common coin can carry the potential for historical or collector interest over time. The future of the penny is a topic of ongoing debate, much like the debate surrounding the 1-cent coin in other countries. With the increasing use of digital payments and the coin's low purchasing power, some argue that the cost of minting the penny outweighs its utility, suggesting it should be phased out, with prices rounded to the nearest 5 pence. However, proponents of retaining the coin argue that its abolition could lead to inflationary rounding up of prices, unfairly affecting consumers, and that the coin remains an essential component for charities and small cash transactions. The Royal Mint has continued to produce the penny, a testament to its continued role, though its design was updated in 2008 as part of a major currency overhaul that saw the reverse of the 6 lowest denominations, including the penny, combined to form a complete image of the Royal Shield of Arms. The 2006 coin you are examining is therefore from the final few years of the portcullis design before this comprehensive redesign, cementing its place as a representative of the currency's immediate pre-2008 era, an example of a long tradition on the cusp of a modern artistic change. In conclusion, the coin in your hand is far more than just one penny. It is a tangible remnant of a continuous story that spans over 1,200 years of English and British history, tracing a lineage from the silver pennies of Anglo-Saxon kings to the copper-plated steel of the modern decimal era. It embodies the transition from an intrinsically valuable coin to a token currency, a shift that mirrors the evolution of global finance itself, and it stands as a humble, yet crucial, component of daily economic life. Its historical journey, through silver, copper, bronze, and finally steel, is a fascinating study of economic necessity, industrial advancement, and royal tradition, and the current design is a snapshot of the Queen's enduring reign. As for its price, a standard, circulated 2006 1-penny coin, like the one shown, typically holds only its face value of 1 pence, or about 1 US cent to collectors. However, coins in pristine, uncirculated condition or those with rare errors can be sold for considerably more, sometimes several pounds or even tens of pounds, a valuation that is entirely dependent on condition and collector demand. It is a simple piece of metal, yet it holds the weight of centuries of commerce and culture, making every single penny a subject worthy of historical appreciation.